Hi everyone, this is Johnnyonoes, and I am going to be doing a quick ad hoc stream where I'm going to be taking a look at creating a decent hover vehicle. If you happen to catch our last stream from last night, apparently I don't know how to make a hover vehicle in Empyrion, so I'm going to take some time. I want to make a hover vehicle that is going to allow us to quickly progress through the early stages of the of survival in Empyrion. Now, Empyrion, it has changed their progression when you're playing survival. Back in the day, you would get an escape pod that you could strip down for a lot of different parts, which allowed you to jump into, get into a small vessel or get into a hover vehicle relatively quickly. Now, you're kind of bandwidth locked into using the emergency constructor, which is a single pathway of building things. So what happens is when you start survival now, you really only have the one constructor to work with until you have a base, because the emergency constructor only gives you the ability to create a base. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump into a creative mode. Let's see, whoops. Let's go to resume game and then creative mode right here. So I'm going to build myself a hover vehicle that will work on Omicron, which is the desert planet that you start off if you pick that. So let's get us a ship, small vessel over here. So this is all in creative mode, so I'm not in danger of dying in any way, shape, or form. So here's a small vessel here, and we're just gonna take it to this capital ship, fuel up the capital ship, and then fly over to Omicron. So wait till it's docked. Alright, it's docked now. Let's go ahead and get some materials. So I'm hitting H to access the item menu here. So in creative mode, it gives you everything you need, and you can put it in your inventory, allowing you to build whatever you feel like. First thing I need is going to be some power. Let's go get some large fuel tanks. Then hitting P, I can then access the capital ship's inventories. So I want to fuel tanks. Let's put some fuel tanks in here so that we can drive this thing and then fly over to Omicron. So I'd really like to build a hover vehicle that is going to deal with the terrain nice and easy. Apparently there's two factors that you need to keep in mind when building a hover vehicle. First is the ability to scale mountains or scale rocks, and I'm trying to figure out if it just requires the hover vehicle to have more power. The other factor is the ability for it not to roll. Seems to be what everyone talks about when they say that they wish to. When I've been reading a lot of forum posts about people that have made hover vehicles, and they're like, "Well, mine takes a great deal of effort to roll." So I'm guessing that's the important piece of when you're building a hover vehicle. So here we go. Just gonna go into space here. So on a third person. Then we're gonna warp over. That's weird. For some reason I am hitting something, so let's just hover up. Bring the nose down, and then just if you hit Alt, you have the ability of moving the camera in third person, just like in that's why it stopped. It hit the hole. So you hit V to go into third person, and then you hit Alt, and then you can change the camera around. You can zoom in. Yep, ever so slightly with the mouse wheel. All right. So we're just gonna go into space and then warp over to Omicron. Oh, oh. All right. So we're now in space. So we're gonna hit M. And then let's find Omicron. Here it is. Try to lock on target, and we'll get a little blue arrow. Here it is. Let's turn this beast around and get all lined up to Omicron. Gonna start getting some speed. We're gonna hit K. Oop, that's another thing we need. So I'm gonna hit H. Gonna get some pentaxid. Get some of that. Now let's see if it's in my inventory now. No, it's not. I guess I have to get out of the seat. Turn my jetpack off. There is gravity here, I think. Yes, there is. Great. H. Pentaxid. Let's get a couple. Access the ship's inventory by hitting P. And then let's look for the warp drive tank. Warp drive tank. Alright, so now our warp drive is all fueled up. Let's get some speed and then hit K. Here we go. Alright, so that's Omicron. Let's go ahead and land on there. So once we land, we're just going to fiddle with all the different parts it's required to build a hovercraft or hover vehicle. Yeah, I don't actually need to bring the capital ship down until yeah, let's bring the capital ship down because I'm interested to see because there are docking ports that you can put on a hover vehicle. It'd be interesting to see what how you would be able to get a hover vehicle into a capital ship. So what's really great about playing creative mode is that you have the ability of creating blueprints for the vehicles that you create. Once you make a blueprint and you get into survival, really all you need to do to build a vehicle of some sort, you don't even need to build a base. You could just you just have the ability of using the factory, and then you can just spawn a ship in. So that may be part of the survival progression that the devs are thinking about, because they stop you from building any of the other starter blocks, but they don't stop you from using the factory. Let's go ahead and land on this flat piece here. And using the camera makes it really easy to figure out if whether or not you're running into something while you're flying a huge capital ship like this. Which is the hack on, by the way. think this template or this blueprint was created by a guy named Mr. Ice Cat. I'm really enjoying this capital vessel. That looks like we're hitting that tree, so let's swivel our butt over a little bit and then try to get flush on the ground. That looks as good as it's gonna get. Then I'm gonna hit P and I'm gonna turn the engines off. Alright, the ship should just settle. Alright, great. Let's get out of the cockpit. And over to our small vessel. Now we're in Omicron. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at all the different parts that we can pick for our little hover vehicle that we're going to make. Alright, let's keep the fuel packs, and then we're just going to trash everything else that we don't need. Okay, so we're hitting H, and we're going to look at all the parts for a hover vehicle. So let's see, let's pick blocks so that we can get a hover vessel starter, and then let's just get some steel blocks so that we can build like a fuselage. Alright, then we want to go to all the components for just a hover vehicle. Pick up some stuff that we think we're going to need. We're obviously going to need a cockpit of some sort. Now, I don't intend to take this particular hover vessel into combat, but given the threat level that I'm playing at, so I'm playing on hard and everything is difficult to kill, I am going to need some armament. Now, until I figure out exactly how you can move around with a... Oh man, look at all this cool stuff you can make. You can make turrets for a hover vessel. So yeah. So the threat level in my single player survival is extremely high. As soon as I built an assault rifle, which makes me think about how progression should work in survival, like as soon as you build an assault rifle, you start getting just completely overrun with spiders and all sorts of weird looking creatures, and makes me think that you should build a base with some turrets first before you actually even think about creating an assault rifle. So let's see what we got here. So let's make a cockpit. This one looks, I like the fact that the height on this one is really shallow, but it looks like the height is the same. It just looks a little thinner. There's like a cool pancake looking, oh here it is. So here's this cockpit here. Looks like, yeah, it's 2 across, 2 high, but then 9 length. So let's see if we can use this cockpit to build our hover vehicle. So our hover vehicle is going to be wide because of what I said earlier about the fact that it sounds like the inability to flip is of importance. So we're going to make our cockpit be nice, and it's going to be narrow, it's going to be thin, but it's going to be long. So we're also going to get some small constructors, because the importance of this hover vehicle is going to be able to process all the different raw materials. So you're looking at iron, you're looking at copper, magnesium, cobalt, silicon. and then Promethean. So your basic resources, there's 6 of them. So I'm going to get 6 small constructors. The other thing that I was thinking about that may actually be even more beneficial while you're out in the field is the ability to create all of the basic components as well. Let's see how many there are of those. So you have cables, you have metal components. So capacitor device is not, it's kind of a mid-range component. So you have cables, you have metal components, you have control devices, you have electronics, you have pipes, steel plates, as well as metal pieces. So there are 7 small components, or bottom tier components, that you could potentially crank out in a vehicle in multiple constructors. Because the amount of constructors you have really determines your bandwidth with crafting in this game. The more constructors you have, the more you can do. But then there's the factor of there really isn't a way for those constructors to work together. So what you need to do is you need to kind of have like a slew of constructors that are building all these components first for you, so that you can put the output of these constructors into a much larger constructor that is going to be making the final products, or the mid-range components like the capacitor device and computer, and then the higher tier middle components like the flux coil and the advanced CPU. So I'm going to try to get around 6 constructors attached to this hover vehicle, so that we can either, process raw materials, or we could process a bunch of these, lower tier components. Alright, so we've got our hover vessel starter, we have some blocks, we have our cockpit, and we have some constructors. So the next thing we need is going to be, we're going to need some power on this thing. So let's get some generators, some fuel tanks, and then because it's Omicron, we're going to need O2 tank and a O2 station. Where is that? O2. Here we are. O2 station. Now, the O2 station is going to then fill the cockpit with oxygen. So this has really helped my Let's Play session, where I'm really just running around the planet, and then I have a certain amount of time before I have to then jet back to my emergency O2 canister. So when we look into building a base, I'll keep that in mind too. Alright, let's get rid of the filter. So we have our O2 tank and our O2 station now. Next thing we're going to need are thrusters. So I'm going to start with just thruster directional and see if that's going to cut it in terms of having to push all this mass of all these small constructors that are here. Then there's some peripheral stuff. Probably we're going to need a small ammo box, as well as let's do like a minigun turret to start. What's up, Chad? How you doing? Thanks for joining the stream. I'm just building some stuff. Oh, what's up? Well, I'm just doing some building in Empyrion. So if you like building games and you like Empyrion Galactic Survival, then stay on the stream. But if the other two are playing games that you feel like watching, then yeah, go ahead and hit them. I'm just trying to archive me building this hover vessel so that other folks can see how to build hover vessels with an Empyrion. But yeah, if you're interested in watching, please go ahead and do so. But if the other games that they're playing are more interesting to you, then yeah, jump on that. But if you do have a question about the other games that I make videos for, like Subnautica and Project Zomboid, and Soul Trader, I can switch to that too and answer some of your questions. Up to you, man. I got no control. I'm merely a TV station. If you don't like what you see, you switch to the other channel. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and... But thank you so much for coming to the stream. I really appreciate you taking the time to check out what I'm doing. Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm just going to do some building, but like I said, if you have any other questions about the games that I mentioned, Project Zomboid, Subnautica, Soul Trader, I'll definitely switch to those and answer your questions. Okay, so we're gonna start with the starter block, and when you create it, it gives you let's see, it gives you eight steel blocks that are around your core. The other thing it gives you is, it's kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can use the drone to look underneath. You can kind of see. Hey, Steven, how you doing? Just doing a little ad hoc stream right now. We're going to be. I'm going to create that hover vessel that I failed to do last night. So it gives you 8 steel blocks, and it also gives you a hover engine underneath. So we're going to go ahead and start with this, and then we're going to look at this cool cockpit we picked up. Now, this cockpit is a 2x2 by I think 9, which I think would be really cool for like a super long hover vessel, but I don't know if it's gonna work for this design. Now that I see it, it's kind of big, unless I put it on top. But yeah, it's also 2 across, which what messes with my OCD when it comes to like keeping everything nice and symmetrical. If I throw a cockpit on this now, it's gonna look like that. But yeah, well, let's pick a different cockpit just for now. Oh, did you order a drone? What kind of drone did you get? My father's got a ton of those things. Things with like the 8 props, and it just zooms around. Did you get like the goggles that you can then attach to a GoPro on the drone? That's probably the most fun I've had with a little drone. I'm not sure why I can't pick up that cockpit. Let's clear out my... Oh, it's at the top. My mistake. My mistake. Alright, so this particular cockpit... Oh, nice. How'd your last one break? So we just placed our cockpit right on the center of this little pad. Oh man, that must have been expensive. How'd you crash it? Or what happened to it? What made it break? So I'm gonna see if putting these constructors as kind of the fuselage would work. But then again, there is some space right next to the cockpit that would work too. So let's put the constructors in this fashion. Now, I don't really need to access... What's up, Dank? I'm making a hover vessel. Can't seem to place it there. Alright, here we go. And it doesn't want to connect to that area either. I wonder if it has something to do with me using the drone. It is drone related. Ugh. Let's do some work lights too. Work lights. Need the light. How useful these things are. Oh, well, that's pleasant. That's so pleasant. Alright, now we're illuminated. Except for the cockpit. It's not picking up any of the light particles. Oh well, whatever. Alright, so let's pad the bottom of this thing a little bit. It'd really be nice to give it some power so we can lift it off the ground. So let's do that real quick too. It's interesting that the drone just didn't want to place things there. Alright, where's my plane? Where's my plane, game? Give me my plane. I need to know what I'm rotating on. There we go. That's what I want to rotate. So I'm just going to place a generator, or it looks like this is the generator. Then we'll put a fuel tank right on top of it. Give the fuel tank some fuel. And let's see what happens when we power this up, because it'd be really nice to be able to build underneath it. I don't understand why the cockpit is just completely black. Alright. Well, that's too bad. Alright, so the thing hovers now, but it doesn't stay in place, which is probably because of the fact that I don't have any RCS on it. So let's throw some RCS as well, and see if we can stabilize it so that we can start building some thrusters onto it. So we've got RCS here. Oh, it's giving me a... Oh, well, we need the right RCS. Thanks, game. Trash that. I saw it. There it is. Okay. Alright, so we're going to put an RCS on the front hand side here. And then, or the back and then the front. Let's see if that stabilizes this thing when we turn it on. Okay, cool. I can now turn. It's not flipping over. It's not moving anywhere. That's nice. So now we can just hop off and then see what's going on here. Alright, so we got our 6 constructors. We have a little bit of power, and we have some control. So now we're going to have to start placing some blocks here. So what I'm probably going to do... Oh, it is moving though. That's fine. Okay, let's turn this thing off and then just put some basics thrusters on it. Oh, there it goes. Well, that tells me where the weight is at. So let's should at least give myself a multi-tool as well. Multi-tool, multi-tool. Let's get the version 2. Get out of my inventory. Let's go ahead and move this RCS to where the other one is. So we kind of have like a little teeter-totter. I'm really interested in the fact that I don't know why it's tipping on this side, because we've got a generator and a fuel tank on this side. But anyways, let's put some thrusters on it so we can control this thing. Let's clear out the toolbar. It seems that in creative you have to put stuff into your toolbar for it to propagate, and we do have some thrusters already. So we're going to just put a thruster on each side. Let's find out where the thruster is. There we go. Let's just put some thrusters on each side. sure we change the plane to the green plane. And some on this side. Then put some on this side. I'm going to be able to get the one in the center. But at least now we're starting to stabilize a bit. I just kind of picked up. Alright, I'm still in. Okay, I'm not. Let's get thrusters. Thrusters. Oh, it starts it on a weird plane like that. Alright. So I just put down how many? I put down 12 thrusters. So let's see what happens when I turn this thing on. Okay. Looks like it's stable. And it looks like it moves just fine. So like Dank and Steven, like this is what I would have built last night. So this does everything I want it to do. So now that the thing is a little bit more stable here, I'm gonna start putting some scaffolding. I don't know. Not sure what I want to do here. Maybe I should do this in space. I think that might be easier for me. But then you can't test it, and I have to come back on the planet. So this is what I should have built last night. This would have accomplished the challenge you gave me to create something in a given amount of time. So let's see now. Let's see if we can get some height so we can work underneath it. See how high these things can go. All right. So it's not the most stable beast in the world. Let's see if we go for a test drive here. Thing looks really stable. Let's take it. Let me blueprint this thing in case I completely wreck it and I can't flip it. Okay, so blueprinting. I'm gonna call it bare bones HV. Yeah, it's definitely dank. Actually, let's All right, here we go. All right, so we got to blueprint it just in case I completely wreck it. Let's go east towards the sun, that we can work on this in the light. So let's run into some trees and see if it stabilizes. This is really nice. It's so pleasant. So there's no fuselage on this thing. It's merely components. You don't rate a vessel when it's like just components slapped together. You gotta give it some shape. You gotta make it look nice. And it's by the time I'm done with this, it's still gonna look like a block, but I'm gonna try to give it some shape. I'm gonna try to give it some shape. Alright, we're just racing towards the sun. I think it was the fact that there was no RCS on it. So it really just kind of tried to go up, and then it moved with the weight of the hover vessel. Now that I'm awake, I actually got some sleep. Last night I was just 2 days awake and super loopy. Ah, there's the sun. Praise the sun. I don't know. This thing just has one hover engine on it. It died. It wanted to it wanted the base to spoon it. I think what was going on. That was a pretty hilarious hover vessel. All right, so let's try to go up a mountain here and see what difficulties arise. The nose is probably going to dip down and hit. Yep, that's what we expected. And it's still just trying its very best. So there is a booster on this thing. Let me find the button for that. There is a booster. Booster. Looking for booster. Alright, so the booster is supposed to give you like a big jump. Let me look it up real quick. Booster, hover vessel, Empyrion. Boom, I think I found it. Shift and space. Here we go. So it kind of boosts up. And it works just like your jetpack does on your character. So let's boost up here so the nose doesn't dig. Still gonna dig. Yeah, that booster isn't much. But it still gets us on top of the mountain. So hit L. And then hit Alt to see where we're going. So this thing does seem admirably serviceable. Especially if you wanted to just build something that wasn't made for combat. It doesn't have an O2 generator on it yet. Or an O2 station and tank on it yet. And it's pretty clumsy when it comes to mountains. Let's see what this little hill does. Let's see this little hill. Could you just imagine just using a hover vessel like this? Being able to find all of the things on a planet. So nice. So nice. This totally beats walking. Alright, so this is going to be like the bare bones version of this hover vehicle. So now that we're in the sun, let's go ahead and do some more stuff to it. Alright. Now hopefully this thing will stay in place. And it won't. I know it won't. Actually, let's do this. Just to mitigate the movement. Oh, that's what I'm going to do, Steve. I'm going to do that right now. Mitigate movement. I'm going to group up, or I'm going to disable the thrusters, but I have to like put them all in a group first. So let's make a group and do thrusters. Actually, I could just do this. So this will be easier. Auto grouping will take all your stuff and put it into the same group. So that way I don't have to do it by hand. So I'm going to deactivate all of the thrusters, and then let's see if this thing moves around. Alright. Looking good. Looking dandy. It's not moving all that much. It is moving. No! Stay in place! Alright. Gonna have to do it this way. Just repair that. Alright. Well, in creative mode there's nothing to fight, but you'll see. In my single player game right now, there's just stuff everywhere that just wants to devour me. Alright, so I'm going to just do this. Just gonna have to follow along while it does its thing. So let's put some blocks right here to get nice and even. That's not what I wanted to do. Alright, so now we got a hover vehicle with no thrusters, which is totally fine. What are we gonna do next? Kind of makes me feel that if we were to put all the generators and fuel tanks on top of the core spot, would be better. Alright, let's this is when things are gonna get a little funky with this thing. No gravity and no spooning. Alright, so let's take these parts off. I really like to move the cockpit up see what the bottom looks like. So it looks like it's a 1x2 hover engine. Let's give it some flair. Yeah, let's give it some flair. Let's make a slope. This is very difficult with it moving like this. Alright, screw it. I'm going to space. Screw this building on the planet thing. Get back! Get back! Alright, so let's get a blueprint going. And let's make a... Let's do this one. That's a nice looking ship. That's a nice looking ship. Fuel tanks. Let's fill it with fuel. That's enough for now. Now we gotta find out where the cockpit is on this thing. Guessing it's right here. Yes? No? Maybe so? Alright, I'm just gonna go outside. Screw it. Well, this is pretty awesome that someone was able to make a small vessel with an actual interior. Off we go. I'm gonna use someone's blueprint in my streams or whatnot. It'd be really nice if it had like the author's name in here. This is the G75.sv. Download me now in the workshop on Steam. Made by I don't know who. I'm not gonna go look. Go ship. Pick like the slowest ship on my blueprints list. Yeah, this looks exactly like the thing from Halo. I bet you that's what the name of it is too. A little drop ship thing. Now we're in space. Let's get somewhere. The magic scubas. Let's get towards the sun. I want some light. And this is why I want to build just a big platform in my single player and in maybe in our multiplayer. That way you just... Johnny Spaceman going into space. Alright, let's stop this hunk of junk. A very finely crafted ship, if I do say so myself. Alright, here's our ship. So let's get started on our hover vehicle. I always do this. I always attempt to build something on a planet, and then I go, let's go into space instead. This is annoying. So let's clear out my my toolbar over here. It's got most of the stuff we need. What do we not need? We don't need thrusters right this second. Let's build a block and a hover vessel starter. There we go. Alright. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Ah, you're kidding me, aren't you? I can't build a hover vessel in space. Ah, this is getting frustrating. Alright. Okay, okay. That's why we have these streams. See, we can all learn together. I make all the mistakes for you. They just need like there's a game called Shores of Hazeron, which I really love. And what it does is just gives you, it's as if you're building a model in a 3D printer. You just have this cool little space where you can build the thing. And then when you actually make the blueprint, it just churns out a ship for you. Doing it by hand Minecraft style is no fun, given that given the fact that there's gravity. And we all hate gravity when trying to build a ship. That would be a pole. And let's land this guy. Gravity sucks. Movie's pretty good though. And the whole concept and gravity's really nice. Allows us to stay attached to the planet and all that good stuff. Alright, so let's do this. We're going to plop this down, and then we're going to make it even. So because the gravity engine is on the center, we're just going to make it even. So we got a 3x4 block of awesome with an engine right in the middle there. Then we're going to give it a generator and a fuel tank. Hopefully what this is going to do, if I mouse over it and hit Y, mouse over and hit Y, oh, I can't turn this thing on? Hello, are we on? Are we on? Powered. There we go, that's how you start it off. Look at that, that's so nice. That's so nice. Okay, great. We learn as we go. Alright, give it some more fuel tanks. I would imagine that a hover vehicle, like a templated hover vehicle, would be a great way to template, or to be a great way to keep a small vessel up while you build it. Just make like a little, yeah, that would be kind of cool. Just make a little platformy hover vessel that you can move around, and then you can maybe place a small vessel on top of, allowing you to build on gravity, but then it would fall off. Alright, well, whatever. Just thinking out loud, making some noise. Alright, let's put 3 generators on here. Great. Okay. So let's do our little instructor thingy-majiggy. Yeah, that's exactly where I wanted it. Thanks, game. Boom. 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 Need more? Need more Vespian constructors. Hurdy, 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 hurdy. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is terrible. Hurdy, 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 hurdy. Yeah, that doesn't look like where I wanted to go. Come on, game. There it is. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I can make it symmetrical. Oh yeah. Oh, this looks beauteous to me. This really... oh god. Stupid. 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 Alright. Come on. Let me place it right there. Boom. Oh, that looks so nice. That's so nice. Oh, perfect. Oh, that's just amazing. It's just amazing. Alright, so we got 3 generators, 3 fuel tanks. We've got all the constructors in a nice little band of awesomeness. So let's go ahead and do this thingy here. And start expanding our foundation out just a little bit. Just put blocks right there. Then, there we go. There we go. Oh god, what happened? Why did you fit? Oh, the drones. The drone's all crazy now. So this thing run out of fuel? Is that what happened? It's just decided to fall over. Why did you do that? Did you do that? Alright. Either way, I have my foundational part there. that seems to be giving up on me. So yeah. Alright, just gonna mute real quick. My son would like to say hello to the internet.
Hello.
That is the progeny of my loins, right there. I made one. I made a person. Okay, just continuing to add some flair to this thingy-mabobbin. Oh, look at that. It's all even now. Alright, let's see, let's do... Just said, hi big man, see? Want to say hello to Steven? Say hi, Steven.
Hi, Steven.
There he is. So during my ad hoc streams that are not in the middle of the night, I'm going to be a little more, yeah, as if I was really stringent about what I say and what happens during my streams. But during my ad hoc ones, I'm just gonna wing it. Whoever wants to listen can listen. All right, so we got a little bit of flair going on here. A little bit of flair. A little bit of flair. Oh, see you later, son. Goodbye. It's off to play Dragon Ball Z. Or something. Or Minecraft. I don't know. Alright, so we got the base of our thingamajiggy here. Now, the fact that the thing fell makes me feel as if that it is too heavy. Let's throw a cockpit on here so we can control this. I'm in a drone. I cannot enter something that's in a drone. Alright. Okay. So let's put some RCS on here too, so this thing stops moving away from us. That'd be fantastical. RCS. Come on, let me place it right there. Come on, game. Ugh. There we go. Just gonna put an RCS on each end here. Guess you really can't connect things to components. You really have to connect it to a block. Or not. Like, I just want to put it right there. Right there, game. I know you can let me do it. There. Then, oh, it's even on this side. Oh my. Oh my. My. I don't like even. Even's bad, okay? It's even on this side. Can't really help it, given the Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Alright, so we got our platform. So this is looking pretty nice. So what I need to do now is I want to make like a nose section. Ah, why did you fall? Why did you fall? I make a nose section because as you saw that the nose kind of digs into the ground. And we kind of want to make the area that the cockpit is going to reside. Right. I also want to put an O2 stuff as well. So let's deal with that when it comes. All right. Put that there. There. Hi, Chad. How are you? Again. Right. This will be the area where we put the cockpit down. And this gives us some space to put in the O2 stations. So if you make the O2 stations available the outside, you can then use it from the outside. Whoa, drone. Drone is down. This would be a good place to put the O2 station. Then give it a little bit of a slope. Let's give it a bit of a slope, shall we? Slopes. Slopely, slopely, slope. There it is. It's a slope. It's on the right axis that I want. Bit of a slope. And right here, let's see. Alright, let's try to give this some height again, now that we have a cockpit that's going to stay. Like a flatbread truck, is that what I was going to say? Alright, so it's going to stay there now, so we can work on this a little bit easier. Once it moves. Stay in place. Stay in place. Okay. It's going to keep moving. We're going to have to deal with that. Alright, let's put the slopes here. You know what, let's remove that and just put a little bit more armor there. Alright, let's put another layer of regular block here. And then slope it. That way I can put some guns on the front. Yay, weaponry! Fun! The thing I'd like to do is put another engine. Let's put it in the right spot, right? Looks like right underneath the cockpit. There, perfect. Okie dokie. Good. Alright. This is looking like it's coming together a little bit. It's still moving though. It'd be really nice if it didn't move. So let's put some reverse thrusters on the front here. Okay. Go. Alright, we'll stop moving forward, but it will probably start moving backwards at some point. Let's do a corner piece here. Apparently too close, so I can't even see it. That looks right, doesn't it? Yes, it does. And then another piece here. There we go, there we go. It's not just a box with engines on it. This is looking alright. Let's get rid of this one here. This is obsolete now. Alright. Then, I say do some slopes. Okay. And then, oh. That's gonna be the problem when streaming during the day. Gonna have some screaming kids, yelling mummies. It's gonna be great. Good times. Why are you falling? You were doing so well. You're doing so well. Doing so well. Alright. And looks like we're running out of light here. So let's turn it so that facing the sun, so it makes it easier to see. Alrighty, and let's get another corner piece going. Okay, and then some more slopes, and get rid of this part that we're going to remove anyways. This is looking perfect. Looking good. Alright, so there we go. So now we have like a little wrapperoonie going on right there in the front, so that when we hit something at full speed, it will at least, you know, ramp off the ground instead of just dip into it. Dip into it. Alright, let's take these things out too. Hopefully the O2 canister stays connected. It does. Perfect. And then, oh, there's a tool that you can use that will make things symmetrical. Let's see if I can do that right here. Oh, I need ammo for this thing. Yep. I'll make sure to put on my East Coast voice when you know I'm setting you up for a layup in the chats. Alright, alright, so let's make this symmetrical. Let's see how that works. So I think the button is N. If you hit N, you can then pick the symmetry. Not really sure exactly what that means, XY, so let's just do XY. And does that mean it's going to build on the same side? Or do I have to hold it down? Oh, and you have an ability to undo as well. So if I hold this down, okay, it looked like it was doing something. Alright, maybe this symmetry needs to be... Whatever, it's just faster to do it this way for now. We build something bigger to figure out how that works. Alright, there we go. We've got like the base down. Now let's put some thrusters on this bad boy on the back. Need this, don't need this. Right, so perfect place for the thrusters would be right here. Now I'll go on this plane. Go. So there we got 2 thrusters. Oh, that works together. It looks so nice. So those are actual real thrusters, not directional thrusters. So this thing's gonna, it's gonna like strafe side to side pretty tough, pretty fast. All right. And I want this thing to fly. All right, let's see what we got. Whoa, that stood to attention real nice and fast. Okay, here we go. It's moving. Race towards the sun. Give it a little boost. Looking not so shabby. The strafing thrusters aren't doing much, though. Not doing much at all. Alright. But it is very controllable. This is very nice. Alright, let's see how long it takes to stop. And not too bad. Yeah, I'm really surprised that a full-on thruster. Oh, no, look at the power usage too. It's nice. So it looks like we're gonna have to throw some more of these thrusters on here. So let's do this. Let's do this. So we've got 3 thrusters powering the forward momentum. Alright, Chad, thanks so much for watching the stream with us. I appreciate it. Stop on by anytime you want to know anything about all the games that I make videos for. Alright, now this is much better. And even at full power, the thing is moving with all that weight. And the power left is astronomically huge, so 524 minutes. That is not bad whatsoever. Right, now let's fill her up. Okay, so I'm going to put some blocks here. Let's see what blocks I've got so far. Right. I want to keep this exposed here, so let's throw some gunnage on here as well. Thrusters are good to go. Chad is dead. Poor Chad. Alright, for guns though, I'm not really sure how useful like mounted guns would be on this thing. Like definitely turreted guns will be cool. But mounted guns just doesn't feel like it have any worth because I can't actually pivot the nose. But let's just throw some on just because it looks cool. Oh, look at that. The exact space. Is as if I planned this. I'm going to act like I did, but I definitely didn't. At all. Even slightly. Alright, that looks good. Good. Mounted weapons on there. Let's throw a ammo pack in that little slot there that we have between the thrusters. And we're definitely going to need an ammo pack for the turret that we're going to put on top. Ammo pack is in a weird place in their whole dealy deal here. Let's just type it. Ammo. And it would be nice to have a fridge in this thing. So let's build a fridge too. Small fridge, gotta make sure the placeable says HV on it. Alright, so we got a fridge and an ammo box. And then we're gonna fill it with ammunition. So for the Gatling guns, we need to put in 15mm bullets. So there we go. And it'd be so nice if we can just, I want 500 bullets. Alright, so we've got some ammo in this thing now. Let's load this thing up. The 2 RCSs really allow this thing to turn really well. But as I said, you really can't pivot the nose section, so really that's all you're going to get in terms of gunfire. So far so good. Alright, let's go ahead and stop this thing. Stopping is definitely one of its hard parts because of the directional thrusters in the front. Okay, so let's see what else we need to do here. Let's remove these. Oh, that's probably why it feels like it's turning really fast. Is the double RCSs over here. Let's move these out. Yes, getting lots of Steam messages. A friend of mine's doing some naughty things on GTA. Alright, where is my RCSs? I need the RCSs. I need more than 2. Oh, I already have some. Alright, let's keep these in the middle. Oh, look at that. It isn't even, it's odd. I love odd. Odd is nice. That's too high. That's too high. Come on. That's too high. Alright. Put 2 on over here. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it nice and shallow. I'll put 3. 3 was nice. 3 was nice. Alright, let's put 2 more RCS here. Alright, now we're ready to make some sort of weaponry on the top. Alright, so let's that's all looking really good here. So let's just do some regular blocks. Pad this flatbed out. I am totally okay with the aesthetics of this thing. This is looking not so bad. Hey, it's nowhere near as cool as what other people have made, but I'm alright with that. I'm okay with that. Alright. Then let's just, before we seal this, is there anything else that we need in this thing? We'll probably need some lights, that's for sure. Need some lights. Let's put some lights right here. Right here looks good. How's that look? That looks fantastical. And now with those extra RCSs, this thing just spins. It's awesome. Right? And then... let's seal this guy up. Wait, one last look. One last look. So I've got the O2 stations. Oh, that'd be important. I got O2 stations exposed here, but I don't have any tanks for the O2 stations, so we can just throw a couple in here. That'd be very useful for my survival game. I got some earlier. I must have threw it away. 2 tanks. And let's throw them on here. Put them anywhere, really. It doesn't matter. There's that glorious P menu. I need light. I need light game. Just gonna keep chasing the sun here. Chasing the sun. See how this thing handles in more rugged terrain. Right? Let's see if we go over here and see what happens. Get a boost. Too shabby. It actually goes up. You can like strafe up hills better than you can go forward. Just give it a little boost. Now I don't see this thing really tipping over. Like everyone was saying that's a thing. Like, oh yeah, my hovercraft never tips over. Why is the boost not doing anything? Oh, it's I'm looking at my jetpack gauge on the side there. Go up nice and slow. Seems to be okay. Give the hover engines a chance to do its thing. Ugh. Yeah, seriously. Seems really solid. Yeah, like this thing doesn't want to tip over at all. Like, so I'm really confused about what they were saying. Oh, it tips over so easily. Let's hit some trees. Ooh, that's the other thing I gotta put on this thing. I'm interested to see how that works. I probably need a cargo container for it first. There's like a harvester node that you can pick up. Let's see. Let's add the harvester node and see what happens. And then we'll probably need to get a cargo thingy too. Cargo box. You can put that right here. Let's install this harvester node thing. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. We be farming. That's gonna make going up rocks pretty tough, but let's see what happens. Still floating. And get it right in that spot. Doesn't look like it. Looks like I'm gonna have to make this flat in the front, which defeats the whole purpose of having a sloping ramp in the front, but hey, what can you do? That looks like it's flush. So how do we turn that thing on? Oh. Okay. Alright, I think I'm doing something. Run over some oranges. I have no idea what this is doing, but let's check the storage. Cargo box. Nothing. How about the harvester thingy? Machigi weapons. Consider a weapon. Harvester module. It looks like that's something I'm going to have to look up. I don't want it on this vessel. Picking up stuff is easy. I mean, unless it like picked up like nodes. Oh, grats, dude. Is it good? Does it work? Was it work? Congratulations. Every man needs a drone to do nefarious things with. You seen the South Park episode about drones? It was a very fine South Park episode that involved dronage. Alright, let's fill this thing up and finish her off. Does it have like lithium ion cells in it? How many cells does it have? It's really... I personally do not own a drone. My father does, and he enjoys it greatly. And I'll leave that one alone. Alright. This is kind of cool because the air tanks are exposed when I seal this thing up. Obviously, the not all of the constructors will be. Alright. Starting to look like a Johnnyonoes special here. Big block of thing. You gotta be able to look at the beautiful landscape you live by. You know, it's just... Look at the mountains. You look at the crevasses. Alright, I still want to keep the hover engines available. Got the ammo box going there, so that's nice. And now let's put some turrets on this thing. Let's put some turrets. Well, what do you think I meant by the mountains and the crevasses? Crevasses. Alright. I want to put in some minigun turrets, and minigun turret requires 15mm bullets. It's great. That's the same for the Gatling gun. So let's see how big these things are. Oh, that's not too bad. We actually didn't need that much space on top. Oh, that's not bad at all. That is not too shabby. Yeah, we didn't need all this space. I was expecting it to be kind of the size that the base was, but not too shabby. So let's just do this. I could make it more aesthetically pleasing. I'm not going to. I'm merely going to put a block here. And then turrets on top of there. There we go. There we go. That looks nice. Now let's see if that's too much. See if that's too much weight. Seems to be driving. I'm making a hover vessel that I can take around town, press the ladies, do some mining, and then just do all the conversion to it, as well as keep me safe from any baddies that come by. Like these front-mounted guns just feel so useless to me. But I would imagine they might be useful for just killing critters. Okay, it looks like I can't get any additional height, which means that weight is starting to become an issue. Oh no, it's already pretty high. I want to go down. There we go. So yeah, it looks like these could pretty much wreck any critters that I run into, which is nice. Gotta wreck them critters. And the speed is holding. The power left is at 400 and something power when the thrusters are going. So this is turned out to be a little fine kind of Johnnyo masterpiece. This is the best I'm gonna do. That's the best I'm gonna do for sure. And we can use a little thruster here if we need to. Oh, wow, that thruster didn't do much at all. All right, so let's find that capital ship I landed on the planet. Did I land it? I don't think I did. Yeah, I thought I did. Where is that capital ship? It's over here. I think. Oh no, it's south. South. I would imagine that the capital vessel is going to need some sort of ramp to get up on it. I'm still not done with all the hover engines that I wish to place, but this will be good for right this moment. I like this. This is so much better than walking by a long shot. By a long shot. Now we just got to see what the resource requirements are, and then oh yeah, I think we can get in there. Definitely get in there. I think. Yeah. Let's see. Oh God. Ah. I can't move at all. Get out of there. Alright. I wonder why it's that high up. That's so bizarre. Yeah, it just likes to spoon things. It's guess what it likes to do. Let's see if it's possible to just get it in here. Because the problem is it has like a set altitude. So if I place it all the way on the ground, let's see what it looks like. If I place it as close as I can to the ground, so it's just very little hover, and then do the little boost leap, and now I don't have enough altitude to actually get up there. Let's see. It's really cool how this thing just swivels so fast, though. Alright, let's just give it a little bit of height, not too much. Oh, I don't understand why it's choosing that altitude off of the ship. Oh, here we go. This works. That's really bizarre. I can't go any lower than that. That doesn't make any sense at all. Hitting C, nothing's happening. As soon as I clear the ship, it'll go right to the ground. That's fine. We'll figure out a cool CV that works with this thing. But at the same time, if we keep it low cost, then should be good. Yeah, let me go in the ship real quick once I'm done with this hovercraft, and I'm almost done. I think I want to put in a couple more hover engines just to see if I can stabilize its stabilize stuff. So I'm gonna put hover engines right here, as well as right. I can't see a thing. Those right here. Let's see what that looks like. I wonder if it's hanging off the side. No, that's perfect. So let's see what that does for us in terms of stability. Power left hasn't, the power usage is still really good. Might have overdid it with the power usage, but that's nothing new. Let's see if it does anything for us in terms of rocks here. Yeah, it's lifting off the corner, which is exactly what I was hoping it would do. And this is definitely not going to be scaling up huge mountains, but that is way better than, say, having to run up a mountain. But as soon as it hits its hover altitude, it is solid. This thing does what it needs to do. This is great. Okay, cool. I'm ready to blueprint this, and we'll see how much it costs in terms of resources as well as level. Okay, hitting the right Alt key and O. I'm going to save this as Johnnyo hover worker. Okay, and then if I want to blueprint it, or use the blueprint, Johnnyo hover worker. So that's all you need to build this thing. You need level 7 and just that many resources. That's super awesome. And I think that's how the total production time is an hour and 4 minutes, but there's nothing wrong with that. So if you're in a survival game, all you have to do is collect that many resources, open up the factory, and just put all those resources in it, do something else for an hour, and you have yourself an awesome ship. Okay, cool. So let's mess around with the capital ship. Let's do that. I'm done with this. This is going to be very nice in my survival game. I think it is dank as well. I do like it. So the ship over here, I didn't make it. It is it's called the Hakon. It was made by someone named Mr. Icy Cat. Got it from the workshop. It's a pretty awesome looking ship. Once again, I will say it over and over again. I'm not going to be a builder. I will leave it up to the professionals, the professional creative people. So this is the type of stuff people put in these ships, which looks really cool. So got some constructors and some cargo boxes. Looks like there's the O2 station here. This looks like kind of like an observatory area, so someone can sit here and watch the ship do its thing. There's an elevator that goes somewhere. Let's see where it goes. This looks like the living quarters type thing. Oh, a TV. I want a TV. Never found a TV in the game yet. Alright. And this looks like it goes to the outside. Yeah, no, creative's great for making those blueprints. You don't have to worry about all the shower room. Wow. Yeah, you're never gonna see me make something like this, but it's still nice to appreciate. Okay. And so like the front part of the ship is kind of all aesthetics and living area, and the back part of the ship is where all the command is. So here you go, Dank. This is how big a warp drive is. So keep it in mind when you're building your thing. So this is the warp drive. So it looks like it is. I would put a block here. Let's see. Looks like it reaches out further than the graphics do. So here's a block. Yeah, I can't even place a block right there. One. 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks high. It's a 5 by 5. Yeah. And it looks like it's a 5 by 5 by 2. 5 high, 5 wide, and 2 depth. Unless that thing back there is part of it too. Could be 3 depth. But yeah, that's if you want to warp a ship, that's how much space you're going to need to put the warp drive in there. Now in the bridge, let's power this guy up. I think I turned the thrusters off earlier. Away we go. This thing turns really quickly. I would imagine it would turn a lot slower than it is, but this thing just swivels in the air. Alright, and let's hit third person so you can see what it looks like from the outside. And let's get out of town. That looks so awesome. Alright, let's go to a cool planet. Let's go to a planet. Let's go to the one that's furthest away. I'll go Ice Planet. That's where I want to go. Alright, and let's find our little blue arrow. You can see the little blue arrow at the bottom of the screen. You have to just face the planet that we're going to go to. And then you need to get some speed. Now I'm really interested to see if you could just drive there, like you were saying, Dank. Like, if I just held down W for a long time, would we eventually get there? But I'm not going to do it now. Alright. Okay, I'm going to stop the ship. And then spawn a little fighter. We're in space! Alright. So then we're going to see. Want to pull up the blueprint menu. And then I'm going to get. I want some better. I'm just going to go to the workshop just real quick. Workshop. Can I get to the workshop from here? No, I have to ask out. Let's pick up a cool little ship. Sorry you cannot see this. I'll Steam be seen. The thing in the bottom. There we go. There's some steam. Alright, we're going to pick up a small vessel. Ooh, that witchblade looks just like what I want. That looks cool. This is yeah, we'll do this one. This is the A24 Witchblade. It was created by a guy named Vexray. Very fine work. I am going to subscribe. And now that I've subscribed, I can then go into my blueprints and let's find it. May have to close this window. Huh. I guess oh, there it is. It's there we go. So yeah, you don't even have to shut the game off. to add a new thingamabobbin to your thingamabobbins. This is a really cool looking ship. Didn't see any weaponry on it. Oh, there we go. Rocket launchers. That's good. Yeah, nice. Oh, it's fast. It's in this hangar, which is very nice. It's docked. Look at that. There's only like that little tiny thing there. What is that? Oh, it's an upside down landing gear. That's pretty cool that works. I like that way better than the actual landing gear. That is a cool idea. All right, let's go see this planet, and then we'll go ahead and stop the stream for now. Or I might work on the base stuff. Yeah, let's work on the base stuff. Because you can do the same thing with bases as well. So if you wanted to just make like a little crummy base in creative, all you would need are the materials. You wouldn't even have to worry about a constructor at all. You would just use your emergency constructor to churn out the ingots, and then you would just put that into your factory and do some stuff in the game, so you're not looking at the stupid constructor like I've been doing whenever we play. Let's check this planet out. So this really seems to be integral in their progression design for their game. If you don't use it, it's a really unenjoyable experience. The problem is that it's not integrated into any of their like UIs or anything like that. You don't know if, oh, this is what I expect. Oh wow, it's got tons of water here. I was hoping for like an ice planet. Or if you can drive this thing into the water. This is a great time to try that out, rather than during survival. The water we go. Oh wow. Can't really see. And the ship apparently is buoyant, which makes it difficult. Yeah, really can't see. No point in doing that. It's the big middle finger to the heavens. It's a little disappointing though. This planet pretty much has kind of the same aesthetic value as Akia, AKUA, the starter planet. Got like the same palette choices and all that. This just has a lot of water on it. I wonder if this planet is like supposed to, I wonder if there's oxygen here. Doesn't really say, and I can't test it in creative. But yeah, this is a pretty nice little planet. Pretty nice little planet. Pretty. I don't want a pretty planet. I want to find a really... Yeah, definitely. Let's definitely do some Project Zomboid tonight. So if you want to check out what we need to do for the multiplayer, that'd be great. That'd be great if you could work on Sunday. Let's go back to our ship, and let's warp to another planet. It says that my capital ship is right in front of me, but yeah, multiplayer. This game has multiplayer too, by the way. We're gonna do some multiplayer Project Zomboid tonight for my 4-hour stream that I do each night. See if we can survive. Why is the capital vessel so far away? There we are. Project Zomboid is a zombie apocalypse survival simulator. It's a very fine game. I've got a lot of Let's Plays and Let's Learns on it if you're interested in taking a look at it. Alright, so this is it's actually Pacific time now. When it's daylight savings it becomes PST. It's very, very confusing. I love how the West Coast is so confusing. Alright, let's just warp to another planet real quick, and then I will work on my little base blueprint. Shouldn't take too long. I don't spend too much time on. Spend too much time on bases. Alien outpost. This one. Let's try this one. I keep hearing about this one. Let's warp. Let's wait for this thing to stop and then take our little ship down there and see what it looks like. Okay. Alright. We are flying again in the Switchblade. I wonder if that's gold. Gold. This looks like a acid-based atmosphere. It looked really golden from orbit. It's looking less golden now that we are here. Looks like either maybe this is the water, this place, or it just looks like a fog. so let's do this No Man's Sky style. Shut us off. Get out. I don't need to wait for No Man's Sky. I got it right here. Oh, so this it sounds like water. No, it's really just like a real like deep fog. It's kind of cool. Oh boy, look at this. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. Little patches of swampy water in here. That looks delicious. I want to just gobble up all that water. Who knows what those little yellow things are in there. Cool. Right. I'm gonna start working on my base now, which will take not very long. But I definitely don't want to do it here. Can't see a thing. Well, I would imagine it doesn't matter because we probably can't even breathe the atmosphere. So even if it was poisonous gas, I would imagine you'd still be okay. Alright, this looks like a good place to make a base. Alright, so let's get all the base materials that we need. Now I'm going to just build a really easy to build base so that I can make it in my survival game. So really all you need is small fuel tank. Definitely need a large O2 tank. Cargo box. Cannon turrets. To station. Can't wait to be able to just get oxygen in that game. Let's get a it's like a regular T1 fridge is fine. Yes, this planet's pretty neat. Advanced constructor. I'm really interested to see what the difference between an advanced and a regular constructor is. Oh yeah, look at that. It's got fast crafting speed. I guess that's what makes it advanced. Even says it in the description. It says device used for crafting, full range of templates available, fast crafting speed. So nice. And when you look at the regular large constructor, it says normal crafting speed. Let's get 5 of those, or 4. And then what else do we need? Alright, that's good. Oh, we need a block. That's right. I always forget the block. Always forget the block. Okay, so here's our starting block. And we want to make a 5x5 room. Just like I always do. This will be super fast. I don't intend to build anything too amazing here. What I'd be really interested in seeing are the walls. If you make a wall. But I would imagine it's very much like the window panes, where it looks like there's space to put something, but there really isn't. So let's just make an extra outer area here. to accommodate walls. Alright, and let's just do the corner pieces first. And I wonder if building with concrete would be the better way to go in the beginning of the game, but it's alright. So 2 high is where it needs to be, not 3 high like I did the other day. And we can place another 4 here. I still would really like to learn what this building tool is all about. It'd be kind of nice. I have no idea what this is doing. Oh yeah, let me look around. So I finish up this thing. This looks like the center. Dokie. Really want to get rid of this, whatever this thing is. Okay, so that looks like a fine base piece of my base. And then let's do some more walls. Well, actually, I just leave it glass. Let's get some glass blocks. Let's put the constructors down. And actually, for the base floor, I don't really need glass. I'll just wall up the whole thing. So, go 4 constructors. Then put that box. Put a fridge in there. Then I need the fuel tanks. Well, and of course the O2 tank, most important thing. Most important thing. And we need a food processor. Then an ammo box of some sort. We have an O2 station, get a medic station. Small ammo box, clone chamber. Now let's put some walls again. Yeah, so when you put an ammo box on either capital vessel or a base, basically all the turrets that you place on there will feed from that box. So it's a really nice and easy way of to just arm your thingy-mabobbins. this is where I'll place the glass. Shoot the glass. Plane, shoot the glass. This is where I'll put the glass. So like all that stuff that you make, all the components, like you don't really have to access them unless you have to repair them. But you don't have to based off of just regular usage. So as long as you're on the base, you can access the P menu and get to everything. So I can just seal up all that stuff. I have no problem. Alright, so what else are we missing in here? I got the ammo box in here. And it looks like we have a whole other row here to add stuff. What else did we need? Just for like a basic base. I'll leave the grow pot or the growing plot thing for later. This is just to get established in the game. Well, I don't actually need to go in and out of this piece, but yeah, an elevator on the outside would be good. But it should be tall enough that you can just jump in. And I can't test it because I have unlimited jetpack on this thing. Alright, anything else? Anything else I need? So I got fuel tanks. Oh, most important thing is the generator. I forgot about that. I should use a regular generator. Alright, Chad, have fun with your new drone. Have a great one. Hopefully it lives up to all your expectations. You can see all the mountains and crevasses out there in the world. Let me see if I can put this upwards. That's not what I want to do. I want the red one. There we go. There we go. Need more than one for expansion reasons. Why am I not seeing this generator? Generator. There we go. Okay. Want the blue plane? There we go. Doesn't really matter which way it's facing down here. So I got 2 fuel tanks. I've got the 2 generators. And if I need to, you know what? I'm just going to go with 1 generator because this is going to be that initial blueprint. And I want to make it as easy to build as possible. I'm already overdoing it with the 4 constructors. So, yeah, this should be good. So you got 1 ammo box, you got 1 cargo box, got a fridge, and then we're just going to seal this up and work on the top floor. That was not what I wanted to click. Okie dokie, got some walls in there. All up this piece as well. And 2 more. Let's use the drone, it's so much faster. The drone is faster, but it's a little wonky. Like it behaves like a ship. You can like do things upside down or crooked like if you wish. Alright, so just sealing up this bottom floor, we don't ever have to access it. And then I don't know which way is front, but we'll just do this. Where we're going to throw this away, and we're going to get some elevators. Where is the elevator? I think it's a block. Consider a block? Nope. Just type it in the filter. Elevator. It was there somewhere, just didn't see it. Then we'll do what we did on that other base that we, the other multiplayer game that we had. Put it on one side, then block around it. Maybe put a door. If I need to expand the floors, I can do that too, just as easily. All right, and then yeah, I'm just gonna go block. I'm not creative. I'm not gonna aesthetically enhance this thing. I just need somewhere to live while I'm living on Omicron. Alright, and then we're just gonna get a door. Regular door. The armored one is the more advanced one. Okay, let's get that door on there. It'd be kind of good to get a ramp going as well underneath it. That's good enough for now. Alright, cool. So that is our entrance. And then we're going to put some glass above glass. I really should make that elevator go to the top floor because of turret reasons. Just want to be able to build this in a way that it's modular based off of the difficulty of the survival game that we're playing. So like the basic one should just have like one constructor. Like I really should be starting this thing out with just one constructor to begin with. Then just at least we now have enough room for more constructors. But we'll check out what the blueprint looks like, and if it's like 20,000 iron ingots, then yeah, that's not going to happen. Poor guy that's got just his boots to carry him. Alright, so that's done. And then we also have this hole here that I was going to use for an elevator inside. Alright, Steven, see you later. Have a great day. Okay, let's get that elevator back again. Is it in here? I know it's in here somewhere. Here it is. Okay. And then up here, we'll at least put the mounts down for turrets. Kind of like what I did the other night. Put these turrets in a nice spot. Those 2 blocks. Yeah, I just put 2 and 2 in a corner piece. Kind of fits really well with that elevator area. It's not symmetrical. Why is it not symmetrical? It is symmetrical. What am I talking about? Alright, and then we need the turrets. And the last piece is just to... Oh, that's disorienting. Sorry, guys. And then we're going to put in the health chamber, or the healing chamber thing. Where's the... There we go. Just put it on this wall. And the most important, the oxygen chamber station. And yeah. What else we got? We need a clone station as well. Yeah, it's really frustrating that those walls, they look like, it makes it look like you can place something there. You really can't. Alright, so that will be where I spawn if I die. And yeah, I think we've got our blueprint ready. So let's get back to our human being body. So that's going to be what that looks like. Nice little cozy house. Gonna save this blueprint, and the way I save a blueprint is you hold down the right Alt key and hit O, and then just put, say, Johnny Outpost. All right, and we're gonna look at that blueprint, and then see what it looks like. Whoa, look at that! That's insanely cheap. That's so much easier to get than, say, all the other stuff that we normally do. Like, this game really needs to integrate this factory a lot better, because that's sick. Like, that's easy to get. 450 ingot, 210 copper ingot. Oh my god, that is so easy. Oh, oh my goodness. Yes, that's the way to play this game. Like, I think I can make that in my single player, like, right now. That is way too easy. Alright. So I built a hovercraft, and I built a base. So hopefully the folks that are watching the archive of this stream can learn from my mistakes and what I've done. And please do not come to me for aesthetic design questions. I am the last person you want to ask. But functionally, we have a base, and we have a hovercraft, which is going to make the first week of living in survival way easier. Way easier. So here's the hovercraft that we built, Johnny Hoverworker. Little three-turreted, 6 constructors. Allows us to hover around, gather some resources. So let's go look for resources, Dank, you were asking earlier. Let's see if it survives this fall. It does. It's not performing too shabbily. Actually, this is really nice. I have no problems with this thing. Oh man, survival is gonna be so much easier now. There's no way. There's no way I want it to go through those constructors again. Oh, oh my gosh. And the fact that they're doing this whole factory thing now really makes me think that they're going to change things up a bit when it comes to crafting. We just happen to be playing this game in a transitionary period. So let's keep looking for materials. Probably be easier to use the small vessel, but I want to use the thing that I built. I want to use the thing that I built. It's because the two crafting systems are at the opposite ends of the spectrum now. You have using the constructors to make all the individual pieces, and it feels so cumbersome right now. Then you have the factory thing, which feels almost too easy. So I feel like there's going to be some sort of a middle ground where hopefully it's not so. What's that thing? Is it the trees of the planet? Each of the other planets. Those are random trees. Each of the planets has a single special resource. Let's see if it hit M. The planet. Oh wow! Look at that. There are no resources on this planet. Not at all, because it at least shows you like how many. So yeah, this planet has nothing. I should have just looked at that instead. This hovercraft does what I need it to do just fine. This is great. This is gonna be awesome. Survival. It only needed like only needed 4 resources. That makes sense. So yeah, the base itself needed fewer resources than the hovercraft. The hovercraft is an hour and 4 minutes, and the base itself is only about 30 minutes. So that's really, really nice. I think the first couple of days of survival are going to be a lot easier now. So much easier. But yeah, pretty cool little planet. We built our hover vehicle. We built our base. Is there any other planets you want to see, Dank, or you want to wait till we play it on survival? Yeah, this hover vehicle is solid. I got another like 10 minutes in me. Then I gotta go I do some housework, and then I want to finish up the 3rd episode of my Let's Play. Because now that I have these blueprints, that's gonna be a whole different experience. I'll probably get the base started or something. And this hover vehicle is nice. Yeah, let me know if you. I'll go take a look at this planet here. Zahines. Let's just do one planet and then I'll get to what I need to get to. All right, so let's stop this guy. I gotta eat some lunch or something too. That'd be nice. Okay, so let's make that. Really like that little witch. Oh, it was a witch blade. I said switchblade earlier, but it's called the witch blade. It's a cool little ship. Alright, off to space. And we'll go to our little capital vessel and then take it to Zahines. Zahines! Let's go around the planet and then to our capital ship. If you've just joined us in the stream, I can answer any questions you might have about the other games that I create videos for, Soul Trader, Project Zomboid, or Subnautica. Really appreciate you taking a look at the stream. I make sure to archive all these on my channels as well, so if you missed a stream, you can watch them there. Most of my nightly streams are quite long, but might be able to see some games that you haven't tried before on there. Subscribe and like as you will. Ugh. Yeah, I was watching that video that PewDiePie did on what is it? It's like the clickbait titles. Thought that was pretty silly. Looking at the titles of my stuff, and I'm just like, I'm not doing that. Not doing that. I don't care. I don't care about the YouTube-ness. I just enjoy all these games. The games are so great. Like, I feel like I would enjoy this game more than I would No Man's Sky. But we'd have to see. Have to see when the game comes out. Can't judge a game until you've had a chance to try it. But like No Man's Sky, I feel is going to have all the planets you can possibly explore, but I'm not really sure about the depth of it. But we'll see. We'll see when it comes out. So we'll just check out this one planet, and then we'll call the stream over, because I don't want to burn myself out too much. Okay, I'm using the arrow keys to turn this behemoth, so it turns nice and quick. And let's warp. See, like, this planet is relatively close. I wonder if I just, just hit W for a while, see if we can eventually get there, but it doesn't look like it's getting any closer. Hitting K to warp, making sure that there is fuel in the warp drive. Alright, let's get out once this thing stops. Oh, is that what it said? There was like a little indicator that says how long it will take? Yeah, the fastest that ship can go was 110 meters per second, so I'd imagine it'd take a little while. Where is the sun so that we may praise it? This looks like a very, very boring world. Let's see. But yeah, if a planet doesn't have any resources on it, then you're just kind of there to take a look at things. See all the indigenous creatures and whatnot. Let's drop into the atmosphere, if there is an atmosphere on this planet. Looks like there is. Then again, the planets look very different from orbit. Whoa, red. Is this the lava planet? Not a lot here. Let's see what the resources look like. It says nothing. I wonder if maybe that's just because of I'm in creative? I don't know. But yeah, this world looks pretty pretty barren. Let's get into the sun. Chasing the sun right now by going west. Oops, crashed a little bit. Okay, well, I said this planet looked boring from afar. It definitely looks pretty cool. I love the color palette that it's using. It's great. The atmosphere kind of gives it this reddish tint. It's kind of gives the sun a reddish tint. Looks nice. Border. Look at that. So if you wanted to live on a planet that looks like Arizona, you've found that planet. Doesn't look like there's any... Just... Let's put our boots on the ground. See what we can see. Oh, this is kind of cool. It's very bright. Not much of anything else. Alright, with that, I'll go ahead and stop the stream for now. If you've been watching or you're watching this archive, just know I like to do 2, 3, 4 hour streams at night, starting at 8 Pacific time. So if you want to see some other games, or maybe you want to talk to me directly and ask questions about the games that I am making videos for, please jump on there and enjoy the stream and ask me all the questions you have. And I don't have any reservations to switching games during the stream. So if you want to see something about Subnautica, I can switch to that game and play it for you and kind of answer your questions. But yeah, I will see you guys all at 8 o'clock tonight, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you later. Thanks, Dean. Thanks, Dank. Have a great night, and we'll play some Project Zomboid tonight at 8 o'clock. All right. Good night. Good night. It's 11:43. All right. Bye, guys.